Then we'll solve few examples of problem set 4. First of all, what is ratio? A ratio is the relation which one quantity bears to another of the same kind and having the same unit. Okay, this is the definition of ratio. Now there are different properties of ratio. Ratio of numbers A and B is written as A as to B or A upon B. A is called as predecessor, that is first term, and B is called as successor, that is second term. Okay. Next property, in the ratio of two numbers, if the second term is 100, then it is known as percentage. If second term is 100, then the ratio is called as percentage. The way you are finding your some percentage. The ratio remains unchanged if its terms are multiplied or divided by non-zero number. For example, ratio is 3:4. That is equal to 6:8. If we simplify 6:8, we'll get ratio 3:4. That is also equal to 9:12. If we simplify 9:12, it becomes 3:4. Okay. Next example, 2:3:5. That is equal to 8:12:20. If we simplify this, then we'll get this ratio, that is 2:3:5. Means if we'll divide by 4, then it becomes 8:12:20 becomes 2:3:5. Next property, sorry, if k is a non-zero number, then a has to b is equal to a into k has to bk, and a has to b has to c is equal to ak has to bk has to ck. Okay, c is a common multiple number. Next property, the quantities taken in the ratio must be expressed in the same unit. They must have same unit. For example, ratio of 2 kg and 300 grams. Now here we have to convert kg into grams. Okay, so that will get proper ratio of given quantity. Next property, the ratio of two quantities is unitless. Whatever ratio will get, that is unitless. I am giving you 1 minute just to read out the properties and definition of ratio. Then we'll move towards properties of proportion. Okay. Next is proportion. Proportion is an equation which defines that the two given ratios are equivalent to each other. For example, 2/3, that is equal to 4/6, that is equal to 6/9. The same way, if we simplify this, it becomes 2/3. and 6 upon 9 also becomes 2 upon 3. We'll divide here by 2 and we'll divide here by 3. Okay, now this proportion is in two forms, that is direct proportion and indirect proportion. Here one example of direct proportion, that is petrol in liters is given and distance traveled by a vehicle that is given. If its ratio is x upon y, then that is in direct proportion. Okay, that is x upon y, here 2 upon 30. If we simplify this, it becomes 1 upon 50. Same for 6 upon 19, 90. Simplify, will get 1 upon 15. 10 upon 150, that is 10 liters of petrol. Vehicle traveled 150 kilometers. So if we'll simplify this, it becomes 1 upon 50. Same for this. The ratio of consumption of petrol and distance covered by the car is constant. It is said that the two quantities are in direct. Okay, it is said that the two quantities are in direct proportion or in direct variation. Just read out this so that we'll move towards next property. Okay. Now inverse proportion, speed of a vehicle is given and time taken by the vehicle is given to travel. Speed is kilometers per hours and it is said that x, and time is in hours, that is y. So 20 into 6 becomes 120, that is we'll multiply both these quantities, x into y. 30 kilometer per hour into 4 hours becomes 120. 40 into 3 becomes 120 and 60 into 2 becomes 120. Okay, that is the product of speed of vehicle and time is constant. In such a case, it is said that the quantities are in inverse proportion or in inverse variation. Just go through this. Okay. Next concept of ratio and proportion topic is comparison of ratios. If A, B, C, D are positive numbers, that is B is greater than 0 and D is greater than 0, the comparison of ratios, that is A upon B, C upon D, can be done using following rules. There are some rules. If A into D is greater than B into C, then A upon B is greater than C upon D. This is the first rule. A, B, C, D are positive numbers and B is greater than 0 as well as D is greater than 0. Second rule, if A into D is smaller than B into C, then A upon B is smaller than C upon D. Okay, it's reverse of this first property. And if A into D is equal to B, then A upon B is equal to C upon D. In this way, we can compare the ratios. Just go through this. I am waiting for 1 minute. Next, operations on equal ratios. Using properties of equality, we can perform operations on ratio. The first operation is invertendo. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then B upon A is equal to D upon C. For example, 5 upon 3 is equal to 15 upon 9, then 3 upon 5 is equal to 9 upon 15. If we simplify 3 upon 5, that is 3 ones are 3. Sorry, if we simplify this 9 upon 15, then it becomes 3 threes are 9 and 3 fives are 15. So it becomes 3 upon 5. Okay. So in case of all the examples where we have to apply invertendo, then it becomes B upon A is equal to D upon C. We have to do it inversely. Numerator becomes denominator and denominator becomes numerator. This is the property invertendo. Next is alternando. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A upon C is equal to B upon D. For example, 5 upon 3 is equal to 15 upon 9. Then it becomes 5 upon 15, that is equal to 3 upon 9. Next is componendo. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A plus B upon B is equal to C plus D upon D. For example, 5 upon 3 is equal to 15 upon 9. Here it is our A, B, C, D. We'll apply property of componendo, then it becomes 5 plus 3 upon 3 is equal to 15 plus 9 upon 9. 5 plus 3 is 8 upon 3. 15 plus 9 is 24 upon 9. If we simplify this, we'll get 8 upon 3. Just go through these three properties: invertendo, alternando, and component. Next property is dividend. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A minus B upon B is equal to C minus D upon D. Here A is 5, B is 3, C is 15 and D is 9. We'll apply dividend, then it becomes 5 minus 3 upon 3 is equal to 15 minus 9 upon 9. 5 minus 3 is 2 upon 3. 15 minus 9 is 6 upon 9. Okay, if we'll simplify this, it becomes 2 upon 3. If we'll divide 6 by 3 and 9 by 3, then it becomes 2 upon 3. Next is componendo dividendo. We'll apply together. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then componendo we have added, and for dividendo we have subtracted. So A plus B upon A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. For example, 5 upon 3 is equal to 15 upon 9. So we'll add here 5 plus 3 and 5 minus 3. That is equal to 15 plus 9 upon 15 minus 9. 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. 15 plus 9 is 24 and 15 minus 9 is 6. Okay, if we'll divide this number by 3, then it becomes 8 upon 2. Just go through both the properties, that is dividendo and componendo dividend. Okay, next, theorem on equal ratios. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to A plus C upon B upon D. This is known as the theorem on equal ratios. Okay, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then it becomes A upon B is equal to C upon D, that is equal to A plus C upon B plus D. We are adding numerators and denominators here. This is known as theorem on equal ratios. If A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F and so on, and if L, M, N are non-zero numbers such that L into B plus M into D plus N into F plus so on, that is not equal to 0, then each ratio is equal to L into A plus M into C plus N into E plus so on divided by L into B plus M into D plus N into F plus so on numbers, whatever the numbers are given. This is the general form of the equal ratios theorem. Just go through this. Next, ratios on continuous proportion. First one is if A upon B is equal to B upon C, then A, B, C are in continuous proportion. If A upon B is equal to B upon C, then it is said that A, B, C are in continuous proportion. If A into C is equal to B square, then dividing both the sides by BC, we get A upon B is equal to B upon C. Okay, we have to divide both the sides by BC. So we'll get A upon B is equal to B upon C. When ABC are in continuous proportion, B is known as the geometric mean of A and C or mean proportional of A and C. If ABC are in continuous proportion, then B is called as the geometric mean of A and C. If A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D is equal to D upon E is equal to E upon F, then A, B, C, D, E, F are said to be in continuous proportion. Okay, if A upon B is equal to B upon C and so on, then it is called as A, B, C are in continuous proportion. Just read out this. Okay, next is K method for solving examples based on ratio and proportion. Examples on equal ratios can be easily solved by equating each ratio to K. Okay, A, B, C, D are positive real numbers in proportion. If we equate each ratio to K, then we get A upon B is equal to C upon D, that is equal to K. Okay, or A is equal to B into K and C is equal to D into K. If A, B, C, D are positive real numbers and they are in proportion, then we'll get A is equal to B into K and C is equal to D into K. Next property, A, B, C are in continuous proportion. A upon B is equal to B upon C, equating each ratio to K. That is A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to K. Then we get B is equal to C into K and A is equal to C into K square. If A, B, C, D are in continuous proportion, then A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D. Then C is equal to D into K, B is equal to D into K square and A is equal to D into K cube, that is equal to K. A, B, C, D are in continuous proportion, then we'll get C is equal to D into K, B is equal to D K square and A is equal to D into K cube. Next property, A, B, C, D, E are in continuous proportion. A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D is equal to D upon E is equal to K. Then we'll get D is equal to E into K. C is equal to E into K square. B is equal to E into K cube. And A is equal to E into K raised to 4. Just go through these properties. Based on these properties, we'll solve examples of problem set 4 now, so that it will be more clear to you. Okay, now we'll start solving examples of problem set 4. Take out textbook page number 77. Problem set 4, question number 1. Select the appropriate alternative answer for the following question. First one is, if 6 as to 5 is equal to y as to 20, then what will be the value of y? Now what is given? 6 as to 5 is equal to y as to 20. Now this we can write down as 6 upon 5 is equal to y upon 20. Now we have to find out the value of y. So what we'll do? We'll take this 20 towards left hand side, so it multiplies. So 6 into 20 upon 5 is equal to y. Okay. Now it becomes 120 upon 5. I can simplify this. It becomes 24. 5s are 120. Okay, that is equal to y. So we have got value of y as 24. Now we have to check the option. Option A is 15. No, it means option A is not correct. Option B is 24. Our answer is 24. We have got value of y as 24. So the correct alternative answer is option B. Okay. In this way, you have to first solve the given example, and then you have to decide the correct alternative answer, whether it is A, B, C, or D. We'll take second example of question number 1. What is the ratio of 1 mm to 1 centimeter? We have to find out the ratio of 1 mm to 1 centimeter. Now first what we have to do? We have to make their units equal. Now we know that 1 centimeter is equal to how much mm? 10 mm. Okay. So we have converted centimeters to mm. Okay. Now we have to find out the ratio for 1 mm to 10 mm. Okay. That we can write down 1 upon 10. This is the answer. Okay. We have to check the options. That is 1 as to 10 is our answer. The first one is 1 as to 100. It means option A is wrong. B is 10 as to 1. Our answer is 1 as to 10. B is also wrong. C is 1:10. Means option C is a correct option for this question. So we have to write down answer as option C. Third example. The ages of Jatin, Nitin and Mohsin are 16, 24 and 36 years respectively. What is the ratio of Nitin's age to Mohsin's age? Now ages of Jatin, Nitin and Mohsin are given and we have to find out ratio of Nitin to Mohsin. Means Nitin's age to Mohsin's age. Now what is Nitin's age? Jatin's is 16, Nitin's is 24 and Mohsin's is 36. Means we have to simplify this number, that is 24 upon 36. Now we can simplify this by 12 2s are 24 and 12 3s are 36. We can cancel this 12 12 2 upon 3. Okay, means 2 as to 3. Now we have to check the options. Option A is 3 as to 2. We need 2 as to 3. Option B is 2 as to 3. Means correct option is option B, as it is 2 as to 3. We'll take fourth example of question number 1. 24 bananas were distributed between Shubham and Anil in the ratio of 3 as to 5. Then how many bananas did Shubham get? Now ratio is given and number of banana is given. Okay, so here we'll use common multiple for this ratio, that is x. So 3x plus 5x, that is becomes 24. Okay, because same fruit is distributed among them, that is banana. So we have considered x for it. 3x plus 5x becomes 8x is equal to 24. Now we'll take this 8 towards right hand side. So it divides. X is equal to 24 upon 8. We can simplify this. 8 ones are 8 and 8 threes are 24. So x is equal to 3. Okay, now we have to find out bananas. How many bananas did Shubham get? So we have here considered as x for banana and in the ratio it is given that 3 as to 5, 3 for Shubham and 5 for Ani. So we'll do 3x is equal to 3 into 3. That is becomes 9. 9. Okay. Now we have to check the options. Option A is 8, option B is 15, option C is 12 and option D is 9. Our answer is 9. Okay, so option D is a correct answer. We'll take fifth example. What is the mean proportional of 4 and 25? Now we have to find out the mean proportional. So what we'll do? Mean proportional is equal to under root 4 into 25. 25 4 is 100. Okay. And square root of 100 is 10. So mean proportional of 4 and 25 is 10. We have to check the options. Option C is 10. Means correct option is option C. In this, we have to solve the examples and then we have to decide the correct alternative answer. Okay, we'll take question number 2 of problem set 4. Write the ratio of the first number to the second number in the reduced form for the following number. Now numbers are given, ratios are given. We have to write down reduced form of the given ratio. First one is 21 and 48. Now here what we have to do? We have to find out the common multiple of both the numbers. We'll write down as 21 upon 48. That is equal to, here you can 7 3s are 21 and 16 3s are 48. Okay, so it becomes 7 upon 60. This is the reduced form of 21 and 48. You can write down as 7 as to 60. Okay, we'll take second example, 36 and 90. 36 upon 90. Now here we have to write down reduced form. So 18 2s are 36 and 18 5s are 90. So it becomes 2 upon 5. That is 2 as to 5. This is the reduced form of 36 and 90. Take third example, 65 and 170. We'll write 65 upon 170. Here 13 5s are 65, 13 9s are 170. So it becomes 5 upon 9. That is 5 as to 9. 5 as to 9 is a reduced form of 65 and 170. Next, fourth example, 138 and 161. We'll write 138 upon 161. That is 23 6 are 138 and 23 7 are 161. So that becomes 6 upon 7. That is 6 as to 7. This is the reduced form of 138 and 61. fifth example, 114 and 133. We'll write 114 upon 133. 19 6 the 114 and 19 7 the 133. So it becomes 6 upon 7. So 6 raised to 7 is the reduced form of 114 and 133. Okay, in this way you have to find out the common multiple for both the numbers, and then you will get a reduced form of the given number or the ratio. We'll take question number 3 also. Question 3. Write the following ratios in the reduced form. First is radius to the diameter of a circle. Now radius of a circle is r. Okay, and the diameter of a circle is 2r. Okay, now we have to take ratio for radius to diameter. So r upon 2r. Here r gets cancelled, so it becomes 1 upon 2. That is 1 as to 2. Okay. Second example, the ratio of diagonal to the length of a rectangle having length 4 centimeter and breadth 3 centimeter. Now here we have to find out first diagonal. So diagonal is equal to under root length square plus breadth square. Now length is given 4 square plus breadth is 3 square. It becomes 16 plus 9. That is 25. And under root 25 becomes 5. Okay. This is diagonal of the given rectangle. And what is given? We have to find the ratio of diagonal to the length. Okay, so it becomes diagonal to length. That is equal to 5 upon 4. That is 5 as to 4. Length is given. Just go through this. Third example of question number 3. The ratio of perimeter to area of a square having side 4 centimeter. Now here we have to find out perimeter of a square. That is equal to 4 into side. Side is given, that is 4 into 4. It becomes 16. Okay, and we have to find out area of a square. That is side square. Side is given 4. So it becomes 16. We have to find out ratio of perimeter to area of a square. So perimeter to area. We have got perimeter as 16 and area as 16. So it becomes 1 upon 1. So the ratio is 1 as to 1. Here side of a square is given. We have find out perimeter of a square, area of a square, and then ratio perimeter to area. Okay, student, we'll stop here today. Thank you very much. Ma'am.